The African National Congress in Gauteng is currently facing one of its most serious, complex, and defining political moments in decades. As the countdown to the 2026 local government elections begins, there is an unmistakable sense that the stakes have never been higher for the party in this province. For many years, the ANC in Gauteng was an unshakable political force, commanding wide loyalty and immense trust across urban and rural communities alike. But today, that historical dominance has come under unprecedented pressure. With its core support base steadily eroding, trust from voters declining sharply, and opposition coalitions growing stronger and more organized, the ANC in Gauteng knows it is in a battle not just for votes but for its very political survival. At the heart of this reality is the high-stakes strategy meeting now underway in Johannesburg, where provincial heavyweights, senior strategists, and grassroots delegates are locked in tense deliberations to chart a path forward. Insiders close to the discussions have described the atmosphere as nothing less than a make-or-break moment, with the future of the party hanging in the balance. To truly understand how the ANC in Gauteng has arrived at this critical juncture, it is important to step back and look at the broader historical context. For much of the post-apartheid era, the ANC in Gauteng carried the aspirations and hopes of millions. It was seen as the natural governing party, one with deep roots in liberation history and an unmatched ability to deliver social services and represent the interests of marginalized communities. The party's leadership structures were cohesive, its grassroots branches active, and its election victories overwhelming. However, by the mid-2010s, cracks began to appear. Governance challenges, service delivery failures, corruption scandals, and growing factionalism weakened the ANC's grip, particularly in urban areas such as Johannesburg, Tshwane, and Ekurhuleni. The 2021 local government elections marked a significant turning point. For the first time, the ANC failed to secure outright control in key metropolitan municipalities. Fragmented coalition governments, unstable leadership, and the rise of alternative parties like Action SA, the Democratic Alliance, and the MK Party began reshaping Gauteng's political landscape in ways that made the ANC's dominance look less assured than ever before. Now, as the strategy conference enters its final phases, the urgency among ANC leaders is palpable. The core discussions have revolved around three major themes: overhauling candidate selection processes, reigniting grassroots mobilization, and crafting a responsive service delivery program that can win back disillusioned voters. Senior figures understand that deploying credible, community-rooted candidates with clean reputations is not just desirable, it is absolutely essential if the party hopes to regain lost ground. However, even this seemingly clear strategy is fraught with challenges. Factional tensions within the party, long-standing patronage networks, and conflicting interests among regional structures have made it difficult to enforce a consistent reform agenda across all municipalities. Delegates report that although progress is being made, disagreements and behind-the-scenes maneuvering still echo through the corridors of the conference venue, a reminder that internal unity remains fragile. Beyond the internal reforms, ANC strategists are also grappling with the evolving nature of urban politics. Voters in Gauteng cities have become more demanding, politically sophisticated, and impatient with empty promises. The rise of splinter formations and new opposition parties siphoning off traditional ANC support bases adds another layer of complexity. The MK Party's influence in certain townships, for example, creates uncertainty over loyalties, while Action SA's focus on urban service delivery appeals directly to frustrated residents tired of infrastructure decay and poor municipal management. The Democratic Alliance, despite its own internal challenges, remains a significant player in key metros and is positioning itself aggressively ahead of 2026. Against this backdrop, the ANC faces the difficult task of not only rebuilding trust but doing so in a highly competitive and fragmented political environment. What complicates matters further is that for many ordinary residents in Johannesburg, Tshwane, and Ekurhuleni, the battle for political control feels far removed from their daily struggles. Service delivery failures, water outages, unreliable electricity supply, pothole-ridden roads, crime, and unemployment have eroded public confidence in all political parties, not just the ANC. For the governing party, this means that merely making promises or rolling out flashy campaign slogans will no longer suffice. What is required is visible, tangible, and sustained improvement in people's lives, well before they head to the ballot box in 2026. This is why the discussions at the Johannesburg Strategy Conference have been laser-focused on how to design and implement practical programs that demonstrate competence and responsiveness. Another dimension that cannot be overlooked is coalition politics. Given the likelihood of no single party securing outright majorities in metros, the ANC knows it must position itself to either build coalitions or at least work effectively in fragmented councils. Lessons from the post-2021 coalition arrangements, many of which were marred by instability, have not been forgotten. ANC leaders are keenly aware that voters will punish political parties that fail to deliver stable governance, irrespective of the excuses made. As the conference nears its conclusion, a key question remains unanswered: can the ANC in Gauteng truly form a unified front capable of restoring credibility and reconnecting meaningfully with its disillusioned support base? The sense that 2026 may not offer a second chance is growing clearer with every passing day. For a party that has enjoyed long-standing incumbency and has shaped South Africa's political trajectory for decades, the possibility of slipping further into electoral decline is real and sobering. Senior leaders seem to recognize that this is not just about preparing for another campaign. It is about influencing mindsets, rebuilding relationships, and demonstrating that the ANC can still govern effectively in a new political era. The road ahead will be long, difficult, and full of tough decisions. But what is clear is that the ANC in Gauteng can no longer rely on past glories, liberation credentials, or entrenched loyalties to carry it to victory. The political terrain has shifted, voters have evolved, and expectations have risen. Whether or not the party can adapt quickly enough to meet these realities will determine its fate in the pivotal 2026 local elections. It is now a race against time to implement reforms, rebuild structures, and restore confidence before the window of opportunity closes permanently. If you found this deep dive informative and eye-opening, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our future updates on South African politics. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you think the ANC in Gauteng can turn things around before 2026, or is it too late? Drop your opinions in the comments below, and let's get the conversation going.